Welcome everyone to It Tastes Different Gaming Appetizers. What are we talking about this time? Well, Microsoft is reportedly debating putting Call of Duty on Game Pass alongside a price hike for Game Pass Ultimate. So Microsoft is reportedly debating putting Call of Duty on Game Pass alongside a price hike to its subscription service. This comes from a report from The Verge following the news of all the layoffs that they just did. The Verge Tom's Warren writes, Microsoft has also had internal debates about whether to put new releases of Call of Duty into Game Pass. I understand this is a debate that has been ongoing internally for quite some time, with concerns for some of that revenue that Call of Duty typically generates for Activision Blizzard will be undermined by Game Pass. This also touches on the potential issues players and analysts have pointed out with Xbox's strategy. After spending billions on acquisitions in the recent years, Xbox presumably needs to make more money. However, its big draw on the platform is Game Pass. Ideally, big new releases and critical hits like Hi-Fi Rush and Call of Duty bring in large swaths of new subscribers, which offset the loss of full price sales that happened because of Game Pass. But Game Pass subscriptions have leveled off. With a peak around 2019 to 2021, if Game Pass isn't getting new subscribers and Game Pass releases hurt traditional sales of games, it's easy to see why they're debating internally whether or not to release Call of Duty, because Call of Duty brings in lots of money. And so they're like, do we want to put this on Game Pass or do we just want to sell this, on the shelf? Alongside the debate, The Verge reports Microsoft states that they are also considering increasing the price of Game Pass Ultimate again, noting that this and the Call of Duty discussion are just being considered currently. So right now they're just being considered. We don't know if they're going to be doing these things or, going through with it. But I would say if they decide to put Call of Duty on Game Pass, they will increase the price of Game Pass. I also think that if they don't put Call of Duty on Game Pass, they will increase the price of Game Pass. I'm going to assume they're going to increase the price of Game Pass, regardless of what they do. I don't know whether or not they'll put it on Game Pass. They should. But I don't know. Pat, what do you think, buddy? I mean, what do you think they're going to put Call of Duty on Game Pass? And what do you think of the price increase possible?
They're kind of towing a fine line, right? We just got a price increase less than a year ago. Everything got jacked up prices. They combined games with gold and Xbox Core, Game Pass Core, and all this other crap. They're kind of starting to piss me off. I mean, I'm not going to go for two increases in an increase every year. Then kiss my ass. I've actually been playing less and less of Game Pass because I've just not been putting hardly anything out there that's worth a damn. So, and I have Ultimate. I have two Ultimates, and I'm actually on the fence about renewing both Ultimates. Really, because the only thing I've actually played, honestly, from anything from them is a PC game, and it was that what was it? Not Farthest Frontier, but the Manor Lords. That's Manor Lords. Yeah. And I only played that for like a day or two just to get a feel of what it's going to be like when it comes out, and I'm like, I like this, but I don't want to get too far into it because I want to save some for when it's, I try not to play early access because I have a problem with early access where I'll just dive into a game and play everything and consume everything that's available. And then when the game releases, I'm like, meh. I played it and I don't feel like going back, even if they drastically change the game. Like, I have a hard time coming back and playing something I've already played because I've got such a laundry list of stuff going on for games. So I try not to play more than just like a little bit of a chunk of it, get the feel of what it's like to say, this is something I want to play, and then I'll come back periodically and check out what they've added new, but I just don't deep dive into it because I have that habit of deep diving and never wanting to come back into it. I mean, I did it with Valheim and now I'm like, oh man, they added new biomes and they're getting all this. And I'm like, I really want to play it, but I don't want to dive back into it like I did when it first came out and just consume it. And then the same thing with Sons of the Forest happened. We played a lot of that. It's now in GA and I'm like, I should go back and play that, but I haven't. Right. So, I'm like, I'll be honest, if Microsoft raises the rates, I will for sure not renew because there's nothing in it that I give. And I don't care if they put Call of Duty on it or not, because I honestly don't care about Call of Duty. I don't play Call of Duty. I only play it when these guys hop on and want to play, and then I'll buy it when it's on sale or something. I'm pretty sure I don't own the last Call of Duty game that I can think of. We haven't played it together that I'm aware of. Have we? I think we played the last Call of Duty game together. I can't remember if we have or not.
We played the zombies, yeah.
Okay.
That was the last one.
So maybe that's why I've got it for the zombies only, because that's all I've played. I've not played the multiplayer that I can think of off the top of my head. But you know, if they price hike the game and keep it separately, I don't care. If they throw it in Game Pass, and then raise the price of Game Pass, I'm like, screw it, I'm out. Because right now it's not money well spent for me. I haven't fired up my Xbox in probably, we played Sandland, right? I haven't fired it up before that in probably a month, maybe. It's been a long time. So to me, there's nothing that warrants a price increase from them. They haven't done anything to enhance the service. And if they pull a game out of it, if they pull a first party game out of it, that's just writing on the wall for the future. And that'll basically be, nobody believes what Microsoft says anymore anyway. They've already disenfranchised a lot of their fans with everything they're doing here recently. And I know it's not Phil Spencer's fault, but Phil Spencer should be taking the brunt of it because he's in leadership, and he needs to be, because with all these layoffs and stuff, he's been a little quiet. And I think that that's a bad thing. He needs to be out front and center, taking blame, doing whatever he needs to do to save face, not hiding behind the sheets, somewhere. But I'm disenfranchised with Microsoft myself. There's way too many rumors going on about this and that, and they're not dispelling it or saying yay or nay. They're just ignoring it. And I'm like, come on, if you're abandoning certain things, and if you're not, and everybody is saying that you are, and you keep quiet about it, that just makes it just seem like you're that much more guilty of something, right? There's a lot of writing on the wall, like them pushing their first party games out to Sony, which feeds into the whole Microsoft is getting out of like console stuff, which I don't believe that really. But I do believe what they're doing is the right approach. Multi-platform is the way to make money with any game. You limit your player base by putting it only on one console. Sony does that, and I think it's a bad idea and it's stupid because you've lost out on hundreds, thousands, millions of sales, so it seems stupid to me. But Microsoft's this whole shadow shell game that's going on with them, and them not being upfront and open with their fan base, is just hurting their image and hurting their long-term strategy, in my opinion, because their long-term strategy seems pretty weak right now. Talks about, and all this is rumors, right? But they're not addressing any of this. Call of Duty may or may not come to Game Pass. Shit or get off the pot. Make the decision. Piss off the people you're going to piss off or not, right? If you're going to raise Game Pass prices, you're going to piss off people. If you're going to say Call of Duty's not coming to Game Pass, you're going to piss off people. If you're not raising price and you're putting Call of Duty on there, then you're towing the line and status quo, right? And if Game Pass is losing money, why? Your subscribers are flat. Why? Fix those things. Why are subscriber numbers flat? Why aren't they increasing? And if they're not sustainable at current numbers, and all you have to do is raise prices for it, then you've got a bad strategy, because you're going to, instead of having that level and that bump, you're going to have that price increase and drop off, because everybody's going to be like, I'm leaving. You're not playing Netflix with me, because Netflix is already on that shit list of raising rates every freaking year. And it's like, you can go to hell. Your service is not improving, guys. See ya. You cancel every new show you put out, you cancel. And Microsoft's going to be that thing that every new studio you put out, you cancel. They are now, it kind of is funny, because it reminds me of like EA. EA used to do the same thing, right? They'd buy up everything and then shut down a chunk of what they bought. And you're like, why? Why buy it then? And then they've been quiet. EA's been quiet for freaking ever. They barely pop up here and there with their sports game franchise. But Microsoft is starting to take over that front of what EA used to, buying shit and shutting it down. So how are you going to make money doing that? How are you going to spend billions of dollars and shut down a chunk of what you bought that was making you money? I don't know. They're souring my taste on what they do. I don't know about you, man.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I haven't turned on my Xbox in probably about a month as well. I've been playing mainly PC and PlayStation. That's basically what I've been playing. My Xbox, if I turn it on now, it probably like dust fly out of the top because it's been so long since it's been on. But again, it's just and it's mainly because of, again, with Game Pass. I've been thinking about the same thing with Game Pass. There really hasn't been anything on there. The last thing I checked out on Game Pass was Manor Lords as well. I really like that game, and I'm looking forward to the future release of it. But playing it on there just makes me think like I really want to support, because it's one dev and I really want to support him. So I'm like, I should go buy this game on Steam, because I really like the game. I like what he's doing and I want to support him. So maybe I should go buy the game on Steam. So I haven't been thinking about canceling Ultimate. I've been thinking about either canceling Ultimate altogether or just going to Game Pass for PC and just having that only. Because I do seem to play a lot more Game Pass, at least especially recently on PC with like City Skylines 2, Manor Lords, and there was another game I have downloaded on there. What was it? I can't remember. Anyway, I have something else downloaded on there. But yeah, I mean, Power World. That's right, Power World. But yeah, I mean, like when Phil Spencer came in, Microsoft was circling the toilet bowl, right? I mean, with the Xbox One and just the way that things were going, like it was not going good. And then Phil Spencer came in and we are all like, he's here to right the ship. But I feel like, no, he didn't right the ship. He just slowed it down. So it's still circling that bowl. It's just going slower now, right? He's turned the brakes on a little bit. He put it in reverse just halfway. So now it's just slowly going down that drain instead of full speed ahead like it was. I mean,
it came out of the drain a little bit, but now it's
well, they found another drain to go down. It's just not like right now. I mean, and it sucks. It really does suck because for me, I'm just really disappointed. That's the main thing. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to be a hater or anything like that. I don't want Microsoft as a gaming division to go away or Xbox as a brand to go away. I like the competition, and we've talked about this before. The competition for Sony and Xbox is healthy for the consumer. The problem is Microsoft is just not making good choices here, and they're not bringing anything out on the device that is worth. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but is worth having the device for. I love the console. I think the console's great. I love the controller. I think the controller's great. But I'm like, everything I play, and this is the problem too. It's like everything I play on here, it also comes out for PlayStation, and or PC, and everything I don't play on here is not on Xbox, but is on PlayStation or PC. It's like, so why have the Xbox? I don't have anything exclusive to it, right? I don't have any reason to play it when I own other devices that can do the same thing. So I'd rather just play those on PC or PlayStation and not Xbox, because again, I'm losing that reason to have it, to continue to have it, right? And it's like Microsoft has it. I've been waiting and waiting, I feel like, for them to give me a reason, and everything they've put out so far, because it's been a huge drought for Microsoft on their first party, but all their first party titles that have been coming out have been mediocre at best. And it's like, and again, it's really disappointing. It's been very disappointing to see that. Senua's Saga 2 is coming up, and I hope that ends up being a really good game, but then after that, what do we have? Like, I don't know. I mean, I know there was supposed to be like 4 titles or something like that were supposed to come out this year for first party. There's Senua's Saga, and then I don't know, Fable maybe.
Fable, I think, was in that list of things to come out this year. But yeah,
Oh, and Avowed looks really good as well. But I don't know if I'll play Avowed on PC.
But as I say, they're all coming to PC too. It's not like they're only coming to Xbox.
Right. And I could play Senua's Saga on PC, you know?
And I like the only thing, in my opinion, Microsoft has Sony beat on the dashboard ecosystem and controller.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
But I hate the PlayStation dashboard. It's so clunky and so annoying. And to turn the console off is like a freaking, to get out of a game is freaking a nightmare. To go do something else and their game restore is kind of very clunky compared to Microsoft's, restore from a closed game. But yeah. Sony is just, their dashboard is shitty. It has always been shitty.
It's been that way for a long time.
Yes. And Xbox's used to be, the XMB dashboard is kind of shitty too back in the day. But I think their dashboard is much better than Sony's. Their controller is much better than Sony's. They are more consumer friendly. But in the games department, where the hell are we? Right? Game Pass
and
was
that's
an
what
awesome
I feel
deal.
like. That's what I feel like, It's like, I agree with you 100% on those things. But it's like, I don't know. It feels like, this car brand or whatever it is so much better in these other ways. But the one thing that actually matters the most, it's not, right? It's like, these things are cool. These features, all this stuff is awesome. But the one thing that you bought the thing for, it doesn't deliver on. At least not yet.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you. If there was no such thing as console exclusives, like there was no console exclusives, I really wouldn't own a PlayStation. If all PlayStation games came out on Xbox and all Xbox games came out on PlayStation, I wouldn't own a PlayStation. I don't particularly care for the console itself. I don't think it's better than Microsoft in the hardware department and the graphics department and all that kind of crap. It's not. And I don't believe, I just, like I said, I don't like their dashboard. I don't like their user experience. Their user experience is just is bad. They need to hire a UX team to just go through that thing and be like, we got to fix this, guys. This is so horrible. Like, why do I got to push 10 buttons to get to one location? Yeah. I want to power off my console. Why can't it be one button? I want to play a game and then go do something else. Why does it got to be 5 steps? I'm obviously exaggerating, but to get out of a damn game is like 3 freaking clicks to go look at something else. But
they like menus.
Yeah, they do like menus. They like menus within menus. It's like freaking Exhibit puked on their dashboard. Yo, dog, I heard you like menus. So we put menus inside your menus, So, I don't know. But Sony has the up with the exclusives. The better exclusives, I should say. Microsoft has a few, but Sony exclusives are better.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I would be the same way if everything was on everything, right? Then you could just pick the console of your choice with whatever you wanted. But it's not that way, right? And so you can still pick the console of your choice. But again, you're getting, like I said, you're getting the same games on both, except for you're also getting the exclusives on PlayStation, right? Where you're not on there. And especially if you have a good gaming PC, then there's really no point, right? You could play all that stuff on your computer if you have a computer that you wanted to do that with. So, I mean, ultimately, again, I'm not dogging on them or anything. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed as a gamer and as a fan of Xbox. I'm disappointed, right? I'm disappointed in the direction they've been going because it doesn't seem like a good direction. And I've been waiting and waiting and I feel like we've been waiting forever for them to turn that ship around. We've talked about it a million times, on here and internally about, just wait, and it's like, we've been waiting and nothing's happened. I'm getting tired of waiting. And it's unfortunate. It really is.
And now the Messiah has gone silent.
Yeah. Mr. Spencer he's gone incognito.
Yep. Which is stupid. I don't know what he's doing, but he was the golden child and now he's the non-existent one right now. He's hiding somewhere. While the ship was circling the drain, the ship's circling the drain's on fire now.
Everything's on. They're like, "Where's the captain?"
He's
jumped
locked in the
while
quarters.
ago. He's on a rowboat.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't jumped ship, but I mean, just like, I don't know. They've really got to, I mean, because ultimately they're just hurting the brand, right? And it doesn't matter how, it's getting harder and harder, I feel like, for Microsoft to right that ship, right? I think, they pissed a lot of gamers off. And when Phil Spencer came in and started to right the ship, a lot of people started getting back that. And when they got those acquisitions and everything like that, people started to get back that a feel for Microsoft and Xbox. You saw that increase in people that only bought a PlayStation going out and buying an Xbox, right? And stuff like that. You had that big like section of time because Xbox was turning that ship around. And then all of a sudden they just, you know, found another drain to circle and decided, let's get in this one. And here we go again, right? I mean, they just can't keep that ship going straight.
Yep. They will, if they keep going the way they're going, we will be in a one console era, and they'll just be a game maker, and a game maker that bought up and ruined a lot of studios that we love. Cause if their console division goes down the drain, you better be prepared, because they're going to have their thumb all over those developers, just pushing down on them to pump out good stuff, because they lost the console division and stuff, and now they're doing it making games. I don't know. They'll be, they'll unfortunately be Sega, right?
Yeah.
Sega's still around, but all they do is make games anymore, and sometimes good, sometimes not, and publish games, and they're not a household name anymore. Right.
No.
You mentioned Sega, and people are probably think they're gone. They're defunct, right? No, they just make video games now, and they publish a lot of video games.
Yeah. When you say Sega anymore and people are like, Sonic, that's it.
Sonic, yeah.
Like, no, they do other stuff too, like Total War, they publish that, and no? Okay. Sonic it is. But yeah, I hope it doesn't go that direction, but it feels like it is, right? Because they talk about the next Xbox. They've talked about the next iteration of Xbox, the next console, and I'm really on the fence at this point in time. Of course, it'll be a while, and we'll know more as it gets closer to time. But I'm on the fence currently on whether or not I'm gonna go to that next console when it comes out. I just don't know, right? And I don't really know all around, because it depends on where the market goes, really, in the future, right? And especially with Microsoft, I just don't know. They are still planning on keeping their games division. They're working on the next evolution of the Xbox, so we'll see what that turns out to be. But yeah, I mean, if they don't put Call of Duty on Game Pass, they're going to piss off a lot of people and probably lose a lot of subscriptions. And if they do and increase the price, they're going to piss off a lot of people and lose a lot of subscriptions, right? But they also might gain some, because people are super crazy about Call of Duty. But
they'll gain subscribers for that 1 month, and then once the newness of Call of Duty wears off, then they'll slunk back down.
Right. Yeah, I'm just wondering if Game Pass, I don't know. I mean, it seems like, we've talked about this before, but Game Pass is a great deal and it's a great thing for gamers. But, is Game Pass hurting Microsoft more than it's helping? Right. And I don't honestly don't know, but it almost seems that way. Even though it's a great service for the consumer, I'm not sure if it's helping their bottom line or helping them in the long run, compared to the more traditional, just selling, games in store, that type of thing. So I don't know. But do you have anything else you want to add to this? All right. Well, let us know down in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think they'll put Call of Duty on Game Pass? Do you expect Game Pass subscription prices to go up? Let us know down in the comments below. I would say ultimately, it would be better for them to put Call of Duty on there and not raise the price. That would be the best scenario for them, but I just don't see that happening. If anything, I see them, regardless of what they do with Call of Duty, I do see them raising the price of Game Pass. Again, right? Like Pat said, they're the Netflix of they're just like Netflix and canceling shows and raising the price for the same product. But let us know down in the comments below what you all think. Other than that, thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you like the video if you enjoyed watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're not already. Help us out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps us. And hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with new videos that we do all the time. And we will see you next time.